morning, and welcome to the Morning DNA for the morning of November
What is it?
9th, 2020. I'm Aaron Dicer, the man of a single black shirt. She is Danae Hughes, the woman of a million distractions. And we're here to find out what this morning is made of, this day is made of. It has been way too long since we've seen you. We have
Hi.
missed you immensely.
It's true.
A lot has happened in the world, Danae, in the
But
last
most
2 weeks.
importantly, I just realized that I'm stirring my coffee with a fork this morning.
These are the important things. These are the reasons that you tune in to the Morning DNA. Love seeing you all in the chat, all the good mornings, all the people hanging out, Saregdo. And we're back. And indeed, we are.
Yeah, I feel as though, oh, yeah, my Bowie shirt.
Yep. Rocking the Bowie. Yep.
I feel as though I should apologize. I know you guys realize life happens and things like this, but man, last week I could not do the show at any point. It just, I have sometimes headache problems. And oftentimes I push through. Aaron can attest to this. I will crawl to the microphone and make a show work.
Or try.
Or try.
Very vividly remember when we were recording the radio show, you came into work and you were like, I've got this headache thing going on. I'm not feeling well. I was like, okay, rest. I'll prep the show. We'll get ready to go. And so you laid down on a couch that we had in the studio and just kind of laid there. And I was like, okay, we're 5 minutes away from showtime or whatever. And you started to try to sit up and you were like, oh man, it's so bad. And I was like, well, then we should just,
figure something else out.
Figure something out. I'll do this.
Yeah.
I do a solo show, whatever. And you're like, no, I got this. And you rolled off the couch onto the floor and then tried to army crawl to the and it wasn't because you were being silly.
No.
Your body literally could not stand up. And I'm just like, Danae, we're calling it. All right.
You
go
need
home.
to go home.
Get some rest.
Problem is that I was in such bad shape I could no longer get home.
Yeah.
But I do push for the show. I do push my body and my mind, and sometimes it's too much. But listen, when it's a video show, it changes everything.
It does.
I'm super okay with being really uncomfortable and not feeling well around you. Obviously, you just described exactly that scenario. It's okay. I'm fine with that. But it would be awkward, right? If I'm just
it's a next level of we would have two choices, right? It'd either be the next level of putting on a face and pretending that you're not in extreme pain,
right?
Or
which
just
I couldn't
being
do
in extreme pain, and that's just I don't know.
There was a moment where I was
okay.
like, I can fake it. I can fake. Nope, can't fake it. So that's that's why we didn't go live last week. It's the first time we've missed a week since we started.
Yeah.
So just thanks, guys, for your patience and everything. We have some fun updates today. We're going to jump into the show today, and I'm really excited to see you, and I'm really excited to just, I don't know, the comments you're talking about. I love Nick's comment that you stir your coffee with a knife. So I'm in good company. I feel that gave me the confidence to put my fork back into my coffee and just run with it.
Scott says, can I have a favor? Can we not talk about, the thing?
My headache? Too late.
I'll tell you what, Scott. Yes, that has never been a huge part of what we do. We're not here to, go into the depths of politics. We may talk around it a little bit.
I'm not.
It's real life. So my topic kind of goes in there a little bit, but not anything directly. So I don't think you have much to worry about. We won't trigger you.
I have a surprise for you today.
Oh.
Today, I brought some guests with me to the show. So we'll get to that.
That's true.
I don't know when we're going to show that.
We can show now. You want me to just
throw
it
it
up
are you
there?
ready? I figured, look, I brought a puppy cam to work today. This is live footage from on the other side of my door right there.
Yeah.
Is my office. And those are my dogs. I thought it'd be kind of fun. And you can see the light is shining on one. So the one on the left that has his ear flipped inside out, that's Reese's.
Is that really inside out or just up? It's upside down, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess inside out seems quite a lot more damaging.
Yeah, that'd be rough.
And then the one on the right is Twix. And those are my puppers. And I put together a little pupper cam. It's a live feed. So if I open the door, check it out. They move. I closed the door.
Oh.
Oh, that was really not interesting at all. I thought they'd at least be like, "Oh, hey, mom," but no, they're like,
Well, they did. They both kind of went like this. They both went.
Are you coming out here to give us
Yeah.
scritches?
Are we getting love or not right now?
Yeah, they are cuddle brothers. They are what do they call them? Litter mates.
Okay.
They're half brothers, same mom, different dad, same litter. So we call them the twins, just jokingly. But they obviously look nothing. Well, they look not a lot alike.
Lolly says the ear flap is inside out, not the ear. Important distinction.
I know it's
Yes,
kind of driving
yes.
me a bit bonkers. I sort of want to go fix it. So I'll just be right back.
Oh, okay. Well, she's gonna go fix that. There we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, isn't it sweet? And now they're like, and you're going away. Scott says, recent Twix, good names. My neighbors had a dog named Belle. When they got a second dog, they named him Taco.
Okay, I was not reading that comment. I was like, okay, maybe it's Beast, like Beast and Belle.
Yeah.
No, Taco Bell, love
Taco Bell. Love it very much.
it.
Very
That's good
nice.
stuff. Anyway,
Very
I thought
nice.
that would bring you guys some joy this morning, just to kind of get a little peek into my life. I do
Yeah.
post about them on Instagram though, so if you want to see more pupper stuff, you can go there.
You ready to shoe a dough?
Let's do it.
All right. So we are going to, it is a Monday episode. So I don't know if you have your FAQs handy, but we will kick it off with an FAQ, which is a friendship application question that Danae is putting us all through to see if we are worthy of being her friends. And then we will get into the DNA and you and have some topics to kind of go over this morning with whatever's going on today. So
Okay, it's been a minute. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, question
Give
number
us the
7.
FAQ.
Please finish this sentence with one of the 4 options in the circle. The circle of A, donuts, B,
Okay.
shapes, C, life, D, cylindricity.
Cylindricity. Okay.
The theme of me making up words continues.
Yes.
It's funny because I've always done that, and now I do it for my job also, for like fun. So
Sure.
it just works perfectly. In the circle of donuts, shapes, life, or cylindricity, A, B, C, or D.
I think the chat is along with my thinking. Anytime you mention donuts,
It's just going to be the answer, right?
You're just gonna get donuts. Lollipop says though donuts, but only if there's a G. You can't spell
Dognuts.
them. Yes,
Donuts.
doganuts. It's donuts for pretty much everybody.
Except for Zalius, who says Lion King.
That was not a choice.
Always.
That's not a choice.
Well, life. It's that.
Life is a choice, but Lion King was not a choice. You're
Okay,
the one assuming that means Lion King.
Steven understands life, Lion King. So there's certainly, and we have 2 cylindricities. We've got Sweet Chicken Sir.
Okay. All right.
And Polly Lewis saying cylindricity. What?
Yep.
It came up as a word in my predictive text. Did I actually not
What?
make up a word and I thought I did?
Cylindricity is a word?
Okay.
Wow.
I'm going to look it up.
That's amazing. I think the real question, Danae, as always with the FAQs, is how does this impact our ability to be your friend, depending on these answers?
Whoa. Yo. Yeah. Cylindricity is a form control. The cylindricity control, G, defines how much a cylindrical surface on a real part may vary from an ideal cylinder that is perfectly round, perfectly straight, and has no taper. Tolerance zone. The cylindricity tolerance zone is the volume between 2 coaxial cylinders. Duh! We all should have known that.
I mean,
we should have all
that's
known.
why you put it in the test.
That's why I
it's
did
a real
it.
real
Guys.
word. You didn't make that up.
Didn't make
It's
it
a
up.
real thing.
I'm not funny. I'm smart. I'm real freaking smart.
Thanks for playing along. Danae will let you know via carrier pigeon if you have or have not qualified to be her friend at a later date once we get through the entire FAQ.
I super can't wait to post this as an actual form.
Right. Yes. And then and what you have to do is assign points. for the different answers, and just do it randomly. Don't even look at which answers they are. Just assign, 1 through 4 points, and then people can pretend it matters. So yes, one thing before we go into the DNA and you, I did want to mention a huge thank you to a brand new member of Team DNA that has joined since last time.
What?
Weta Nason, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's incredible.
Appreciate you. We are now sitting at 31 members of Team DNA. We are 10 away from that magic
so
41.
What's happening at 41 again? Are we playing D&D?
We're going to play D&D. We're going to video some D&D. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I happened to jump onto the CinemaSins Discord channel over the weekend, and I was trying to catch up, but I haven't been there since August, so it was not easy to catch up. I just thought I had to just be like, okay, you know what? I'm not catching up. I'm just jumping to today.
Yeah.
And I was seeing some like conversation about a potential one shot, and there is excitement about that. So I'm down if you want to actually do it. If you want to make it a thing.
If we get to 41 members, we'll make it a thing. I've never played D&D before. It has never been something that interests me necessarily. But I do like the performative aspect of it. So to do it for an audience would be, fun. So yeah, we'll do some DNA
cool.
at 41 members of Team DNA. And that's at Patreon, by the way, patreon.com/studio.
Are we
going
to do it like where you can actually, like maybe our Patreon supporters can watch it going on, or is it just going to be audio straight, or what are we going to do there? Do we know yet?
Oh, no. We'll do it. We'll do it here on the platform. We'll set up a
hold
couple
on.
cameras.
You want to do a live one shot?
Maybe not live, but we'll definitely do video and then record it and maybe edit it a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah.
Doc Tracy says, I'm ready to join that Discord. It's a CinemaSins Discord. That's the main job that Aaron and I do. We write and help to run the platform for a company called CinemaSins. It is something that you can search for and find. It is a very different style. So just kind of prepare for snarkiness and silliness and some R-rated content. So anyway, but there is a Discord, and there's some really great people actually in the chat today from that universe. So incredible, incredible people. So if you want to join that, maybe just shoot us an email. We've got our contact information at the end of the show, and we can send you a link to that.
I will also mention thank you to our Team DNA members who have voted on the 4 shirts that will go to the public vote for the man of a single black shirt wearing a different shirt for 5 shows. So they are have been voted on. I was going to bring up a picture. I think I can do that.
Okay. Maybe while you do that, I'll just cut back over to the puppies.
Oh, look at them. They're sleeping.
They're so stupid cute. Look at those pups. Oh my goodness. Iris would be so mad at me if she just heard me say the word stupid, because she's really, really into that right now.
That is a bad word.
It's a
bad word. So there is the poll as it is.
It's hard to kind of see.
Is it?
But yeah, so the upper left is a like Dragon Horde shirt. Then we have pun pretty much. What does it say?
Pun pretty much intended.
Okay. And then there's a Be Love, Give Love shirt. You done messed up, AA Ron. Now, the next shirt that you can see is like a see-through mesh shirt. We're actually not sure that he can wear that shirt because of Twitch terms.
That's right.
If
my
that one
would
wins,
be showing.
we might have to adjust our plan. The one to the right of that appears to be like a dress style.
We're calling it a flared shirt.
A flared shirt,
I think is
and what does the other one say? I forget.
My other shirt is also black. Was the other one that was up for a vote.
And as you can tell right now, the You Done Messed Up AA Ron shirt
and the pun pretty much intended.
The pun is winning.
And then the mesh one is next, and then it's a tie with My Other Shirt is Black and Dragons for the other one after that. And what we'll do is we'll see if that mesh one will pass terms, and if it does, we'll include it in the 4, and then we will just pick one of the others.
There's so many people giving you solutions to this problem. That's so great.
I don't know how to feel about the fact that shirt is winning. Like, I don't is it just because it's funny? It's just because it's funny, right? Like, you're not trying to embarrass me.
No,
like, I don't
just
care.
Great.
It's just a human body. It's
no,
not.
we
It
know you
bother
don't
me.
care. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen, like Aaron was saying, is we are going to have our Patreon supporters go vote, which if you want to become a Patreon supporter and vote, you can go do that. And then the top ones we're going to actually put to a public vote on Twitter, so you can interact with that one if you just want to wait. So,
and that will happen this week. I think the poll has another day or two on it, so this would be your last chance to join up at Team DNA and do that for then.
This conversation about duct tape, like this is legit.
So anyways, we will see. It may not, if we'll do some research, and if it, again, since there's a tie for the 4th and 5th, that makes it pretty easy. If we're not allowed to do that one, then we'll just do those.
We'll just,
those 4.
We'll just duct tape his nipples, apparently, according to that. There's also been conversation about butter helping with that. I didn't read specifically, but this could be another stretch goal.
I usually use Vaseline as opposed to butter for running. To protect the nipple chafing and that kind of thing. So yeah,
I have to tell you, behind the scenes, I can see the puppy cam kind of on the bottom of my screen, just to sort of like see what they're doing. I'm over here like bop 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 bop, yelling, excited, movement, clapping. Nothing is phasing them. They are adjusted, and I'm kind of impressed with that.
Nice.
I'm kind of impressed with them right now.
You should be. You ready to get to the DNA and you?
Yeah. Let's
All right,
do it.
we'll have a D topic, an A topic, and a U topic. If you have anything you want us to talk about, anything that you want to know, anything, any topic, whatever, you let us know. Put a U at the beginning of it in the comments, so we'll be able to find it easier if we have to kind of scroll back through. Scott, that's a great point. The easiest way to deal with nipple chafing while running is to not run. I mean, hey, that would be easier too.
Super great.
And I could just be 500 pounds and we just all live with that. That'd be fine. So anyhow, yes, we will start with the D topic. Danae, what do you got?
I am going to chat about your go-to breakfast for dinner meal. Like, what is it? I'm curious. Ours is pancakes. I also want to know, follow-up question, do you put something in your pancakes? And if so, what is it?
In the batter or on
in the batter.
Pancake? Okay.
In the batter. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess both could technically work, but I was thinking more in the batter.
We do breakfast for dinner. We do bacon and eggs and pancakes. That's always all 3. It's beautiful. We do the eggs over easy, so you can get the nice runny yolk with those. We have out on the table peanut butter and jelly for the pancakes.
For the pancakes?
To do like
do
peanut butter and jelly.
Do you do like a roll up, like a crepe style pancake?
Do a sandwich. Do a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with pancake bread. So yeah, that's kind of been our go-to. And we had to create a rule when the boys were younger that they couldn't do peanut butter and syrup. They either had to do peanut butter or syrup.
That's smart.
Because it just got way too like knife in the peanut butter with syrup on it, messiness, table all sticky.
I thought you were going because of sugar content. You're like,
no, get sugared up, kids. Like, knock yourselves out.
That's funny.
But no.
We started off our weekend telling Iris that she was going to get to do strawberry pancakes this weekend, and she was incredibly excited about it. Her grandma and grandpa were coming over. We're going to all have like a special breakfast together. My mom and dad were going to take her to a park and then go on a scenic fall drive. They've been finding these, there's these maps around in the Ozarks that you can essentially just like, it's paved road, like zigzag ways through the old hills that you can kind of take and over streams and
the
things
scenic
like this.
Route.
Very, very scenic.
Yeah.
And you can follow them on a map just to kind of like, there's just really interesting, beautiful scenery around here. And so my mom and my dad have been doing that a lot. And they were like, oh, we'll just take Iris because it was my husband and I's wedding anniversary. So we're like, okay, we'll get to have like childcare. And then we were going to go have lunch together at the same time, eating hot food that didn't go cold because one of us is watching a toddler. It was going to be amazing. And then she woke up with a fever of 102.
Oh,
so,
no.
Plans out the window, no strawberry pancakes. But we got to end the weekend because she was feeling so much better. We got to end the weekend with strawberry pancakes. But we did it for dinner instead. And she was just like, what?
You
It
can
was so
do this?
special.
You blew her mind. That's
It was
amazing.
so cool.
Lots of
And-
great comments.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I didn't know
No,
you
go
were-
ahead. No, I
Slab
just
says,
loved it.
Frozen blueberries in my pancakes or waffles.
Frozen's nice.
Yeah, that's a good one. Sweet Chicken Sir says, eggs and bacon, cereal for dessert. I've never thought of cereal as dessert, but it really kind of is, depending on what cereal you use.
I like this answer from Steven, who just says bananas.
Hey, it works. I don't know that I would qualify bananas as a breakfast food. Is fruit just a breakfast thing? Like, is that true for some people? Like, fruit's like breakfast? Because I think of bananas as like an afternoon snack.
I think of bananas as snack as well, but clearly for Steven, it is a breakfast.
Jen says potato latkes with bacon and fried eggs on top.
What are latkes?
It's like a hash brownish kind of thing, I believe.
Oh, so it's fried potato. I'm down.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
I like fried. Oh, shoot. Yeah. Just look at the picture.
That looks so good. You almost got a swear word out of today.
Cyragdo says breakfast is not allowed for dinner. I despise Brenner. Brunch is fine, but leave my dinner alone.
Nice.
Hey, listen, that's okay. You can be passionate about that. That's all right.
Nick puts white chocolate chips in pancakes. I'm not a fan of white chocolate chips, but if you are, enjoy.
We have a massive, what I am calling candy soup left over from Halloween. Our gigantic bin of
melted?
candy. No, it's just this bin of candy that just has all these different varieties.
Okay, soup very specifically has a liquid connotation, though.
I know,
right?
but it seems to me like, a big kettle that you're just stirring. It's that big and it's just filled with candy. So
call it a candy kettle or a candy copia.
See,
call it a candy copia. That's what it is.
We can't on this show, but in my house, we're calling it the candy soup.
Okay, fine.
And there's some white chocolate. My husband picked up like a white chocolate bag. So it has white chocolate, which I didn't know this was a thing. So freaking good. White chocolate Reese's peanut butter cups. White chocolate.
Not a fan, but
cookie dough, cookie crunch, the Hershey's cookie crunch with white chocolate, and then white chocolate Kit Kats. It's this very special bag of white chocolate. Anyhow, so when you said that, I realized that I could have just folded in like like a white chocolate Kit Kat or an entire thing
into the pancake. Sure.
I missed my opportunity.
Sarcastic Honey Badger don't care. Sarcastic Honey Badger says Scrapple, eggs over grits.
Scrapple. What's a Scrapple? You are teaching me things.
Yeah. Lolly had the same question. Ooh, what is a Scrapple? It's basically like the game Scrabble, except for you play every letter upside down. So they called it Scrapple.
Okay, so genuinely at first I thought that it was a loaf of bread, but turns out it's not. Scrapple, also known by the Pennsylvania Dutch name as Penace, or pan rabbit.
Panhas
is traditionally a mush of pork scraps and trimmings combined with cornmeal and wheat flour, often buckwheat flour and spices, and the mush is formed into a semi-solid congealed loaf, and slices of the scrapple are then pan-fried before serving. Is this spam? Kind of.
That's amazing.
Is it meatloafish? Definitely.
Yeah.
But don't knock it till you try it,
Jen says, Aaron is again validating my parenting. Thank you. You're welcome. I do what I can to make parents feel good about what they're doing.
Yeah, man. What great ideas. In the UK, we have dark chocolate mint Kit Kats.
Not a huge fan of the dark chocolate either because of the bitterness, but yeah.
Oh, I'm moving. Or just ordering it from Amazon. That's easier. Not spam, but kind of like it. Wow. This is making me very hungry because let me tell you.
You haven't eaten yet.
Before the show, my child had a lot of attention needs. And so I literally slid into my seat moments before going live. And all I've had to eat is a little bit of a breakfast bar and this coffee, which isn't eating anyway. But
Scott says, oddly, today is National Scrapple Day.
Oh,
seriously.
Happy National Scrapple Day, everybody.
Yeah.
I wish I had a Scrapple store nearby. I would go try it out. But I don't. And there's no way I'm making that. No. Not at all.
Ready for the A topic?
Your turn.
All right. Here's the question. When's the time you chose to love someone who hurt you? Now, this is a deep topic that comes from a deep place in my life. And this is going to happen every once in a while, but I had some emotions this weekend in relation to what we talked about earlier with the election and just the idea of unity and coming together. And it's such an important thing to me that it gets really deep inside me, this idea that we can get along even if we believe differently, even if, we don't agree on things, that we can treat each other with respect and love. And that means so much to me that I had one of those like big emotional moments this weekend. And it's been difficult for me to see such pain in people's lives and the response of trying to figure out how to move on, how to forgive, how to, and this isn't, I promise you, this isn't about any one side necessarily in particular. This is just as human beings, we have this thing where it's really difficult to choose to love or forgive or give grace to someone who has hurt us. And it just got me thinking about those times in my own life and how beautiful that has been for me to find the ability to look at another human being and go, you hurt me by what you said, or you even hurt me by what you did, but I'm going to give you the grace as a human to try to find, unity with you. And I just wondered, like, is there a time in your own life where you can remember being able to do that, or a time where there was reconciliation for something like that? So it's a bit deeper than your favorite breakfast food.
We should have ended with the breakfast food, dude.
Well, I don't know. We're
It's
not
fine.
ending with
No.
this either. We got you topics to do, but I don't know. It's really been on my heart a lot. And this is the place I get to talk about that stuff, because honestly, my instinct is to post things on social media about it, and just say, hey, this. And it's like, it's such a polarized place, for one. And there's just not place for nuance and conversation. Whereas here is the place, the public place I have that I can have
The kind of outlet to talk about it safely.
A
Yeah.
little
Or
bit
safer.
like that. Yeah.
I think there's always a chance for being misunderstood, which is part of the pain. It's really interesting that you're bringing this up, because genuinely this weekend, not related to anything happening in our world, I have a friend that has been in and out of my life a lot. And I was just figuring out that I think I need to be done with this person. And so when you say, like, when's the time you chose to love someone who's hurt you, it's interesting because in my pain and frustration and just like literally letting her go again, realizing that it's just not healthy for me to just be thinking that there's something there when there's clear evidence that there's not really a healthy relationship or friendship or that kind of back and forth there. I can just say goodbye in love, but I don't actually have to even tell her about it. Like, we don't need to have some sort of conversation about it. It's pretty evident after being ghosted again that it's just not reciprocated, and it's not a back and forth relationship. I kind of visioned it like at some points you think like you can see the person with the weed cutters or the big like garden cutters,
The garden
right?
shears.
The shears, like kind of hacking away at the vines of your relationship. And sometimes you want to rush in and be like, no, like there's something here. But then also like, so shing, 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 she's over there just doing this kind of a thing. And I'm watching the little bitty connecting points that are still on the vine going, there's still something there. And finally I'm like, but it's okay if it dies on the vine. It's okay if this doesn't go into something. And so I'm literally coming off of a weekend of genuinely just working through. I don't know that I want to just go up and hack it, but at the same time, this is a really unhealthy situation, and I have to do a better job of recognizing when to disengage.
I think that is a great thing to add to the conversation, because it is so important to understand that forgiveness, grace, love are not exclusive from separation. You can have separation from something unhealthy. You can have a disagreement that is valid and worthwhile, and you can have a separation, but that's different than harboring ill will. And that's what I think for me, one of the instances I think of was early in my job situation. I won't go into too many details, but in fact, my first job situation out of college, I was there about 2 months and ended up making them fire me. They wanted me to step away for nothing I did. It was completely outside of my control. And it was very hurtful. Hurtful things were said, hurtful things were done. And it was a really tough time for me to start to understand my love for them, my grace for them, my forgiveness for them was about my peace and about my understanding of how we relate to each other as human beings, and not about letting them off the hook, not about, reconciliation to where we're going to be friends. It was about the peace of knowing this fellow human hurt me, and that's not okay, but I am also a fellow human who could hurt someone else, and I would want the grace and forgiveness in the situations where I do. So it was such a learning experience for me that I go back to it and think about it often. And because you know what, we will continue to not understand each other, to hurt each other, and how we interact with that, I think, is going to be so important culturally as we continue to try to get along and do stuff together. So yeah.
One of the best pieces of advice I think I was ever given in this kind of realm of like choosing to love somebody that has hurt you is just permission to do it on your own time and not feel forced to do it.
Yes. Yeah.
Because when someone's hurting, you might feel that obligation to just start apologizing or to start to like fill that gap of conversation with things you're not ready to say. You're not ready to go there. You're not ready to forgive or whatever you need to do, or you're not ready to love somebody. And it's okay to like struggle through that. And I think hearing that was really important for me, because I would find that I was kind of denying that I was being hurt or whatever, and I needed to address that. Really, I needed to go into that space and kind of create boundaries for myself. And I wasn't. I was just being like, forgive, 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 forgive. Yay, woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
And like keeping toxic people around me. And you can love people from a distance. That's completely possible. So good conversation.
Saley says, it's a very complex topic because the chat is dead silent now. Yeah, I feel like I killed the chat. I apologize. I don't apologize because I do think this is always a part of what we've done, Danae. Like there's, and it's probably because I have to have it. I have to have.
You need an outlet to talk about.
I need an outlet to talk about deeper stuff sometimes.
Sure.
A public outlet. And because I find
I'm like, what's in your pancakes? And you're like, what's in your soul?
That's right. Honestly, I hope it's okay with you. I hope that these are things you don't mind thinking about, processing during these kind of times. But I will say, if it is, I can tone it back a little bit, those kind of things. But I thought it was definitely. Here's a solution. Yeah, I thought that might be a good solution.
A real quick puppy cam look for the deeper chat. Listen, I genuinely think it's okay to bring this stuff up, because I know that everyone who is watching and listening has something that's happened to them, whether it's recent or in the past, of having to work through what love means when it's somebody that's hard. And it is hard to think about. But there's no wrong answer. But love yourself first. Find, if you're around people who are like telling you that you're not worth it or that you're wrong all the time, like get into a space where you are around people or have a feed that you are a wonderful person who deserves love and deserves to be heard. And if that's counsel, or if that's friendships, or if that's online, support groups, or if that's just a new friend or a new hobby that you can find, a new passion that you discover, there's something around the corner. If you're not there's something around the corner for you that will come, and you can engage with it. And it's really, really scary to be vulnerable. But when you find the right people to be vulnerable with, suddenly kind of just brings things into clarity. And it's easier, I think, to love people when you are being loved. And so I hope that you guys in your life right now have people in your life who are loving you exactly as you are. You don't need to be any different than who you are to be loved. It's a huge theme of mine. You don't need to change. You just are
you
loved.
are worthy of love because you exist. That is not something you need to earn. Azalea says, I can forgive, look past a lot. I can internalize a lot. But as I get further in life, I just decide that some things are non-negotiable. That's understandable. I totally get that. Polly says, I can't relate to the whole story in the chat scenario, but it's nice to listen to someone else bare their soul. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's Aaron for you. He's brave. I love it though. I'm somebody who's like stuff all emotion, turn into emotional robot. And you're like, let's discuss our feeling.
Jessica says, I'm always forgiving and loving people that say hurtful things because I have a lot of friends that believe differently than me.
Yeah.
That is a hard road to walk sometimes, Jessica, and I am with you. And I think it's very honorable that you continue to choose to love, whatever that looks like, that you continue to choose to do that.
Speaking of love, Slab says, beep boop, what is this thing you call love?
There was one other I wanted. Elizabeth said, I really like this. I'm learning to love from a distance. And I think that is an important quality as well to figure out what that means, because as I mentioned, it's not impossible to love people that you are healthfully separated from. I think that is important. So
speaking of separation, Runny gets real bold here and says, my daughter hasn't spoken to me in 6 years because of political reasons. So I forgive her and still love her and I pray for her. That's a hard situation too. Sometimes, like I was saying,
Very
people
much.
choose to separate from you. Shocking. Not everybody likes me. People freaking straight up ghost me that I've known most of my life. They just won't call me. They don't talk to me. They're going through stuff. And that's painful. It's
and it
hard
may not be about you. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like it usually isn't about us.
when you
in
go
those
into your mind and
situations.
you start to make assumptions of what it is. I mean, like maybe in your case, specifically based on conversation, but it's hard because even in conversation, it's so important to just try to hold them in love. Like they're a person with their own sets of issues, but those issues aren't necessarily my responsibility to solve. I need to make
Right.
sure that I'm in a good, safe place. So
Lolly says, learning to love from a distance, a 2020 guide to not getting COVID. That is, it is important to love from a distance in many ways right now.
this is
So,
powerful from Jeremiah, who says, I haven't necessarily forgiven them yet and don't necessarily love them, but if they came to me needing or wanting help, I would help them. I
That's
would say
honorable.
that's kind of a form of love in
I think
itself.
it is.
There's
It's
lots
kind
of
of what I'm
different
talking
kinds.
about. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's a brave thing to do, right?
Well, in the word love, my goodness, if you
It's
want
complex.
if you want an English word that means a million different things, love is that word. We really should have at least 12 different words for what we say when we mean, or what we mean when we say love. But yeah,
Doc says, I have a small group of friends. I'm okay with that. I find that
Me
to
too.
be healthier personally.
absolutely.
I think in
No,
this
I agree.
culture of like massive abilities to connect with so many people, we like, for example, all of you in the chat and beyond who I've interacted with socially online over the years, I consider to be a subset of friend, like someone that I have a kindness for, an appreciation for, even a respect for. There's beautiful conversations I've had that I genuinely have impacted my life, and that I hold very special. But as far as like my friend group, yeah, it's a small group of people who, at the end of the day, if I'm questioning like, am I like a bad person? Like, why would this person stop calling? Why would I be ghosted again? And they're like, okay, Danae, I know you. This is da 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 da. And like they can hold me accountable, ask hard questions. So I think a small group is healthy, especially, if you guys are just able to be really honest with each other, because
Yeah.
being a human's weird, man. It's hard stuff sometimes.
It is, and it's not always easy to figure out how to interact with people who it feels like believe so differently than you do, and so much of it is perspective, and so much of it is how you were raised, and we're all dealing with things that were put into us as children that we're trying to figure out if we believe them for ourselves. And
Like my husband, he doesn't even have a connection to his parents. Like he just the boundary. He doesn't talk to them. And that's different from me. I was raised differently. So yeah, everybody's different, and it's just important for you to find that support space where you can be you unapologetically, and then if somebody challenges your heart, you can learn how to be apologetic for things that you're like, oh, I didn't realize I was needing to shift my perspective. Like
Yeah.
find those people who can love you and that you want to grow and like evolve with.
Doc says, I know I was taught to love your fellow man as you love yourself. That's a lot more complicated than how it sounds. Indeed.
True.
And I guess I would sum this up and kind of finish this off by just saying the pursuit of understanding anybody in your life is a worthwhile pursuit. It'll look very different for other people, but for me, if there's one thing I would want to communicate, it's that love is always worth the effort. At least it has been in my life. So,
especially for the special people in your core.
yeah. Yep, absolutely. Thanks, guys. Thanks for kind of chiming in on that stuff. I really
Yeah,
appreciate that.
that was special. And
All right,
thanks for
let's
sharing your depths. I know there's a lot of stuff that was going on there. So we're going to move into the you topic, yeah?
yeah, let's do it. Do you have
Are
one?
you going to scan back up to the top? I
yes,
saw one come in earlier.
I'll scan back up. Yeah.
Okay. So essentially, just put you or you topic, and any question goes. We don't necessarily answer all the questions because sometimes y'all be crazy. But we love the conversations, questions. It literally is anything goes. So if you've got a question about anything that you are seeing, if you want to know what is in my office, for example, or what is in Aaron's soul.
Well, I'm looking for. I remember. It may have disappeared. Oh, you got it.
I just saw it. This question comes from Doc Tracy. With the topic of food earlier in the show, do you have any weird combinations of food and or drinks? For example, because of an aunt, I put coffee cream in cola. I've recently put peppermint mocha in my Pepsi, and it tastes like mint chocolate. That sounds delicious. Ooh, weird combos.
This is a hard one for a super taster.
I was gonna say yours is gonna be like one time I
the weirdest
tried
thing, and I don't do it anymore.
Mustard.
I don't. Just steal it, Danae. I was gonna get there. No, it wasn't gonna be mustard. It was gonna be ketchup. This one time I put. I used to eat bologna ketchup sandwiches growing up. That's about as weird as I would get, and I don't even really like those anymore. So.
Okay, the first thing that came to mind, I think it might be because you mentioned a soda, is what was that? Hold on, guys.
I have no idea what's going on in my...
Do you guys hear that? It sounds like a motor. Are we going to explode? Okay, I'll keep with my story. Well, is it in your room, Aaron?
It's in my computer. So, let's continue, shall we?
That's so scary, man. We have a meeting. You can't lose your computer.
Well, we're almost done.
Mine was every day when I worked at a pizza place, I got to go in and make my own pizza. So I had this very special blend of pizza, but I liked to eat it because it had like different spices and stuff in it. There were like, I like put the spices on the meat. It was very specialized because I worked there or whatever. But the weird part for me was that I always ate it with coffee and Dr. Pepper every day for way too long. So, but I do this all the time. I get into these food ruts where I eat the same thing like every day.
Mm-hmm.
For example, tater tots and mustard. I'm that weird girl. And at the drive-thru, they know me as a tater tot mustard girl. So what does that say about me? I don't.
I remember what the question I saw was. I think it's gone.
Okay.
But somebody asked about the safety pin. They said it was right at the beginning, and they were like, "Hey, you topic. Can you please tell me why you have a safety pin?"
Oh my gosh, that came from like 2 weeks ago too. That question popped up, and we didn't answer it.
Oh, I didn't see it a couple weeks ago.
So this has been something that's been in their mind for way long.
So the safety pin has been a really special symbol for DNA. It has been the idea that early on in us doing shows together and those kind of things, that we needed to have a safe place to, like we just had that conversation, that it needed to be a safe place to be who you needed to be real. And safety pin was kind of the symbol of that for us. So we kind of agreed on that. And so then when we split our studios, we both got a safety pin for our separate studios, just as a reminder that, it continues to be a safe space.
Mine is actually
there. It is
right there. Yeah. It's kind of hard to see. It's actually been nice too, because since we're separated from COVID, it kind of links us together.
Yeah.
I did see something from Slab at one point in time, but go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say there's plenty of you questions that have come in. If I can get back down
there. My thing refreshed and it went down to the bottom. Here, I'm gonna put one up that I just popped up for Elizabeth, who says, "When do you start Christmas shopping?" Well, usually the week before Christmas. However, this year we actually started shopping already. I have Iris's presents already here and wrapped. And
Nice.
I did that before Halloween. That's the first time in my entire life that I've ever done a gift that early. And I will tell you that I'm using it as incentive for her to be a good girl. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I didn't expect that to come from me, but I am absolutely manipulating my situation to my advantage.
We told you could ask anything. We weren't lying, and sometimes we'll even answer the weird ones. Slab says, learned that oatmeal makes my family's quote-unquote emissions smell pretty toxic. Are you an over or under the blanket person?
First of all, great lead-in story. Didn't know which way you were going with that.
Right? Under the blanket.
I sleep under the blanket. I also toot under the blanket.
Yeah.
Because
It's just polite.
but also just whenever I need to. When I'm by myself. Now if I'm around people,
Right.
I'm okay talking about it, but in person, it's on lockdown.
It's for Hades 417 says, are you ready for the next gen consoles releasing this week? I know they are releasing this week. I gave up on being a gamer about 10 years ago. So no, I am not at all ready, as you say.
I want to be a gamer again so badly.
Every once in a while.
I work like 50 hours a week plus I'm a mom. So I've had to redirect my extracurricular activities.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, yes, I'd be excited. Now, my husband actually, he stays up late to play now that he's a dad. So he'll wait till Iris goes to sleep and then he'll go downstairs. And he actually is getting the new PS5.
Mm-hmm.
So he's already got the pre-order one. He went and got in on the early one. And so he just has to go pay like the remaining balance and he has one. So he's
for him.
Super excited about that.
Well, if he wants, he can come over and hook it up to the big TV and do that if he wants.
Here's a fun one from Jeremiah who asks, what kind of student were you in high school? And if you went to college, how did that freedom change your habits?
You want me to start?
Yeah.
I was an A student. I was an overachiever. I think
overachiever or like really smart?
Well, what do you? I mean, I don't
because
know.
You can be smart and be an A student, but not be an overachiever. Do you know?
Okay,
what I mean?
let me. No, that's good. Let me define what I mean by that.
Yeah.
I mean that it was important to me to do things well. It was also easier for me. I do not feel like high school was difficult. So I know how that sounds to hear. We're all different, but for me, it's really. I hate talking about this stuff, but for me, high school socially and academically was a breeze. I had a great time.
But that's okay.
I know it's okay, but I know it's not everybody's story. And so
not my story. We've talked about this before. We are very different. We have like totally different experiences that make conversations really fun.
Yeah.
You went to college, so how did that freedom change your habits? Did it?
Not really. I didn't get all A's in college.
Oh my gosh, your computer.
And I know. I'm starting to worry.
I know. I'm starting to get distracted. Like
maybe we should finish up.
Okay, this will be the last question.
But anyhow, the college experience for me was learning how I work. When it's not just do your homework tonight. It's here's 3 assignments you have for the entire semester. Get them in. And so for me, it was like, oh, I'll just wait till the day before they're due. That's the best way I work. And I did fine. It only bit me once in a communications class where there was a lot of prep work for the final paper. The whole grade was based on the final paper, but I didn't realize a lot of the prep work was also involved in the grading. And so I didn't do any of the prep work. I just turned in the final paper. I got a 98% on the final paper, but zeros on all the prep work, and ended up with like a D+ or something like that because of it. But that was just me. I'm a procrastinator. I work best under the gun, and I've made peace with that. So yeah.
I am opposite of Aaron. The kind of student that I was in high school was, I think, a haunted student. I was just constantly plagued with the emotional parts of it. I was also not challenged in high school. Nothing was interesting to me. Nothing was really exciting to me. I just wanted to leave as fast as I possibly could. I had one teacher that kind of was able to tap into me being a part of a bigger picture through singing. I was in choir and I was in the concert choir. So we had like competitions we went to, and he came to me one day. He's like, I think you are probably about to drop out of school. And I was like, yep, I want to get out of here. And he said, well, would you stay because you're really needed? And that was the first time that anyone had ever kind of appealed to that part where I was like, oh, I'm needed here? Because it just seems like I'm not needed here. So was I able to get great grades? 100%. I actually talked to somebody later in life who asked me about my intellect and how I would test out on like studies and stuff that were, like IQ tests and things. And we kind of went over some information, and he's like, oh, this is incredibly common for people who they're not challenged or engaged. So that was my experience. I kind of got a better understanding. I thought I was just bad. Like, I know I'm not a bad person but it was not a good experience for me. So I did not go to college because there was no way I was going to pay to do that again. And I instead went straight to work. I started working at the age of 15 and have worked every day except for there was 3 months of my life where I didn't have a job for 3 months. I've worked for all kinds of companies and organizations and businesses. And so I have a very eclectic experience and I have my knowledge of people is vast. I know people really, really well. So I think I went to the school of hard knocks, they say. And I actually don't regret it. Truly, I don't. I don't know that I would recommend it. I think I would try to, like if Iris, for example, suffers from the same thing that I did, I would try to find something outside of school to engage her mind so that she doesn't feel like she doesn't know what's going on. Because I have a personal experience with that. That was rough for me personally.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's
Thank you,
my
Jeremiah,
experience.
for
Great
that
question. Yeah, that's kind of a fun little glimpse into our differences and our past and kind of like why we're passionate too about doing this show. We love talking about our experiences with you and connecting with you. We do the show, as you can see on the banner, scrolling along the bottom, every Mondays and some days, except for when Danae's sick. So you can connect with us on whatever platform you're watching from. There are people watching on Facebook and Twitch and on Twitter and on YouTube.
Yep.
It's so cool to connect with you guys here. Just set a little reminder for Mondays at 9 a.m. Central. And then if you click on like the notification option, when we go live any other day of the week, you will be notified.
And thank you for being a part of Team DNA at patreon.com/Studio DNA. If you want to go do that, it's $5 a month. There's just one level and get you all the perks. And my computer's apparently about to take off. So we should probably go figure
That's
that out.
it for the day.
They think it might be a fan in the comments. And
I saw that.
That's possible. So we'll check it out. Love you all. It's been so good to catch up, hang out, and hopefully we can do this again soon. We'll see you on the next Monday or someday.
Bye. Have a good day.